Welcome to the Investor Kevin channel. I am the Investor Kevin, and today we're going to talk about why energy guns are so overrated. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I like to cut things off as to what critical resources are at stakes regarding whether you choose to get one energy gun or go with two guns with two different elements. So basically this whole argument is basically about having one energy gun in one weapon slot versus having two guns with two different elements in two different slots. So the resource at stake here is schematics, XP. Now, I'll start this off by arguing that having two guns with different elemental damages can actually increase your overall damage to pretty much almost all zombies, while having an energy gun just simply is meh. So a little bit about how elemental damage works and elemental zombies works. Elemental zombies have a certain resistance to the amount of damage that it can take from your guns. If you say fire a regular bullet at an elemental zombie, you will deal only half the damage on it than if you were to shoot it at a regular zombie. However, if you shoot an elemental gun at the zombie, it all depends. If it's energy, it's always going to be 66.6% of the damage, or 2/3 of it, no matter which elemental zombie it is. If you were firing a fire weapon at a nature zombie, that fire type weapon will deal 100% of the damage, as if you were shooting a normal zombie. However, if you use that same fire type weapon on a water zombie, you only deal a quarter of the damage to it, which is bad. So if we compare the schematics for having two weapons such as fire and water, or water and nature, or nature and fire, you realize that you're doing 100% damage to one normal zombie and two different types of elemental zombies, while the third elemental zombie is only being dealt 66% damage if you use the element of the same type. For example, if you were, say I have fire and water, that means if I were to fight a water type zombie, I would need to use this, which is my ranger, and then kill him. But this ranger will only do 66% damage to it. Let's okay. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, it's okay if you want to try to get like all the elemental guns, but you might find it a bit difficult to get all three elements of a certain type of gun. For example, as you can see here, I do not have a powerful nature type assault rifle, so I need to get it from one of my friends to make it. But if you're doing it by yourself, then having two guns with two different elements can actually overall do you a lot of damage. This is even especially the case for smashers. Smashers can come in different types of elements. So if you manage to get the right element, such as fire, against a nature type smasher, then you're going to have an easy time killing it. But if you don't, it can make all the difference in whether or not your defenses stand, and also how much damage can zombies hurt your thing that you're defending, and as a result, whether or not you win or lose the mission. So there's a lot at stakes here. One is failing the mission. Two is getting less reward from the mission in the first place. And in addition, if you're using energy guns like the ray gun or say an energy assault rifle but with like an energy element, then well, that's another story. But basically, if you're using energy weapons like Death Ray or the Argonaut assault rifle, you're going to need energy cells, which to me is pretty expensive because of the fact that I can't seem to find enough bacon to make a lot of it, and the fact that it requires a lot of like coal too as well. Coal is a very scarce resource that's really hard to find, and bacon is just simply takes a long time to find all of it though. Basically, it's a common resource, but you have to like go to every restroom to get it, or every convenience store to get it. So that concludes my argument. Let me know what you think of this playstyle. Do you agree, disagree, or do you have any modifications that you can present to me? Again, I am the Investor Kevin. Invest well.